Hello, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, depending on where you are. My name is Ankur and I represent business intelligence practice in Vista Solutions. All right, so we'll start the demo. I'll be taking you through about the data visualization, how it is important, how it is playing an important role in these, in current organization, and how it is changing the landscape of business intelligence. So let me take you through one by one. I'll be taking you to what we do in terms of Vista. Vista Solutions is a ISO 9001 certified company and HIPAA compliant. We have more than 400 plus software professionals spread across various geographies, and you can see on my screen that we have a very good clientele at this point of time, and we are serving them and catering to them in various software solutions that we provide. Our focus industries are manufacturing, professional and field services, trading and distribution, healthcare, health insurance, online sellers, e-commerce. Now, what is data visualization? Uh, so, as a human, we tend to comprehend pictures more than numbers, right? So by the visualization of anything, we are able to make effective, effective. We are able to ask effective questions, and and what are the answers to those questions? When we talk about business perspective, we have with the use of visualizations, we are able to ask some key questions that could be like, what is driving my growth, what are the characteristics of my customers using the different services, what are the different dimensions my customers fall into, how it is impacting my sales, my bottom line, and so on and so forth. uh, Data visualizations tools, there are a lot of tools at this point of time in the market, and they allow anyone to organize and present information intuitively. This is becoming very vital information in terms of when we talk about different industries, retail, we talk about sports, and we talk about any other domain. We always keep on seeing these charts and numbers, and different way of visualizing those numbers. It becomes very easy for a normal person to comprehend those charts and visualizations, and basis on that we can make decisions. Now, as far as business intelligence is concerned, traditionally business intelligence always was confined to reporting, and how you are presenting the data. The reporting was more on, you have to be dependent on few tools that would give you scheduled reports. You have to be dependent on your IT staff. You will have some questions, and you would have to always be dependent on someone to produce those reports and deliver to you, maybe on on ad hoc basis, on a regular scheduled basis. So in the past few years, the landscape in business intelligence technologies has gone, and people have companies have innovated themselves, have came up with fantastic innovations. One of them being the self-service BI. When we talk about self-service BI, it is more on when you are independent of anyone's help, when you can yourself prepare reports, you can create visualizations on the go without taking help of anyone else. And you earlier in normal scenario, it would take a week or so to prepare those reports, and subsequently present those to your management. But with the innovations in BI technologies, self-service BI has come a long way, and where you are yourself can create reports, charts, and take decisions basis on those data that you see on those tools, and take decisions accordingly. So coming on to the benefits of the data visualizations, it is coming as a fast emerging trend, and it is you can directly interact with the data. It gives you a clear picture what is happening. You can communicate effectively, share with your colleagues, staffs, and you are no more dependent on the IT staff in terms of providing you with the insights. You can yourself come up with the various insights basis on how you want to visualize it. Now, in the slide, I will just talk about Tableau. Tableau is one of the leaders. On the right-hand side of the screen, you will see it's a Gartner report presented in February, and the Magic Quadrant. Gartner is quite famous for the Magic Quadrant, and you see that Tableau is sitting right at the top on the right corner of the quadrant. They have they were founded in 1997 in Stanford University, and they came up with this different way of showing the data. Their mission has been, how do you perceive and how do you see the data and understand the data. That has been their mission statement, and they have come a long way in terms of the innovations as far as the business intelligence is concerned. The desk. So in Tableau, they have different versions. So Tableau desktop is used to create and develop visualizations on the local machine, and then you have Tableau server, where you can publish those developed reports or visualizations. You can publish them over the server. Basis on the number of users in your organization, you can access those views from the that is shared with you. So even the Tableau servers has a lot of functionalities in terms of, if you want to restrict to only few people, they will be able to see those subsequent views that have been shared with them. The latest version that Tableau has at this point of time is version 9. It was launched in early April this quarter, and as I discussed earlier, that the greatest capability of Tableau is of self-service BI. So you have a couple of more products in Tableau. I'll just briefly talk about them. Tableau Online and Tableau Public. So Tableau Online is nothing but a service. It will give you all the functionalities of server. The Tableau server is basically an in-house server that you host on your premises. Tableau Online rather would be a service, a cloud-based service by Tableau, where if you don't want to invest on servers, you can take services from Tableau itself and use Tableau Online as a platform to publish your reports that you have developed on the desktop. And then you have Tableau Public. So Tableau Public is a freely distributed tool over the internet that people like colleges, different institutes, NGOs, they are using it extensively from the past couple of years. And the only thing is that although it gives you all the features that are there standard in the desktop, the only thing is that you will not be able to connect to too many of data sources you might have in your organization. You will be only import couple of data sources that are like common, like Access or Microsoft Excel, like that. And whatever the visualizations that you create in Tableau Public will be shared across the public Tableau Public website. So whatever visualizations that you are going to create, it will be accessed. It can be accessed by everyone whosoever has an internet connection. They can just go to Tableau Public website and can view your visualizations that you have created. So that is the limitation with the Tableau Public. All right. So there seems to be a problem with the few of the people in the few of the attendees cannot hear me. So I just wanted to check if everyone can hear me. Please raise your hand if you can hear me. Okay. All right, thanks. I will proceed. So let me just take you through a small demo. I'll choose a existing Excel sheet that I have, and I will import it. So on the left pane, I have the option to use the data source. So in this case, I will use an Excel sheet. Here is my data set. I click on open. Now you see that this Excel sheet, I have four different uh, sheets inside this Excel: orders, people, return, sales, target. So I can actually use any one of them. I mean, all of them to query on them and prepare some visualizations or reports, right? So let me bring in orders. I just need to drag and drop here in this center pane, and let's say if I bring in returns as well, as you can see that Tableau is intelligent enough to identify the join here, which is basically order ID in both the sheets, and is able to create a join quickly, automatically. And if you want, you can actually change it to the join that you prefer at this for the purpose of your analysis. For this demo, I will not be using returns table, so I will stick to orders. I'll just remove returns. And on the lower pane, you can easily see that all my data, there are around 10,000 rows is spread, and you can go through, you can scroll right and see the data itself. All right, so bottom right, this is my sheet. So the structure here is, yeah. So structure here is in Tableau, it allows you to prepare different visualizations. It will be stored in a particular sheet. So I can add more sheets, just like in Excel, we have multiple sheets, multiple tabs, and then maybe I can combine those sheets in a dashboard. So if you see the third option from the bottom of your screen, this is a new dashboard. So in the dashboard, I can combine various sheets that I have prepared, and play around with them accordingly. So let me take you to a few basics of Tableau. So on the left pane, you can see that we have dimensions here, and we have measures. So Tableau is good enough to identify what are the different measures from the data set, and what are the different dimensions in the data set itself. There are different, if you can see that even with the different dimensions, there are small icons on the left side where it will tell you what kind of dimension it is. So city and country, it is showing a globe. On the date, it is showing it as a calendar. And then on the measures, the hash sign signifies it's a numeric value, right? So it automatically identifies what are the dimensions, what are the measures. In a case where you see that let's say row ID, although it's a distinct value, but let's say if it's one of the measures, you can easily pick it up and drop it in measures, and then Tableau will consider it as a measure. However, in our case, it is not a measure, it's just a dimension. So I'll just bring it back to its original place. All right. So the center of your screen, you see you have column and rows. So column and rows are nothing but your axes, like axis and y-axis. And when you drop these fields into the respective columns or rows, you get the visualization in the center. So let me just take you through a quick example on how do we create few views. So let's say let me pick up the order ID. So all of my orders are now placed here around 10,000. I just picked it up and dropped it on row level. If I just want to remove it, I just need to pick it up again and drop it in the plain area. So it gets removed automatically. Now I want to see the sales by the order IDs. So I will go to my measures, I'll pick sales and I'll drop it in columns. Now you will be able to see that by order, I am able to see the sales. If I just want to organize it a little better for the purpose of my visualization, I can just go here the bottom of my screen next to sales. I see sorting option. I click on it and I get this sorted. The other way of doing it is I can click on small arrow next to the order ID field, click on it and click on sort. I can now manually go and see what kind of sorting I need. All right. So now you see that it's very simple to create simple visualizations. In terms of, if I compare it with the tool like Excel sheet, where you had to do further operations in order to achieve this kind of visualizations. Now let me bring more data into the visualizations, so I make some sense of it, right? So now I want to know my sales by the product categories. So I bring categories in the row and I see different categories and their sales performance, right? I can again go and sort them out basis on their size and on sales. I want to go another level down. I just want to see what is the sales by subcategory. So I'll just again pick the subcategory and bring it next to category. You see that blue arrow, that signifies that I can put that data element over here. Now I see I have another axis which tells me the subcategories grouped under the larger category technology, and then I can again go here and sort them. Now let's say if I want to see another dimension over here, I want to see the profit, right? So let me bring profit into the columns. Now I have two axes, where in first axis I am able to see the sales, in the second one I have profit. Now I'm good with this. However, there are few best practices in Tableau where we can utilize them and get the same view in a single axis rather than having a couple of axes, right? So I will now, what I will do, I will put the profit field in the color mark that will highlight my sales basis on the profitability. So now I have a range of profitability. The greener you are, the good profit you have. The red color signifies the negative profitability. So now all these products with their sales size, I can see which of them are profitable. Tables subcategory is not performing well in terms of profit. However, sales is good, right? So again, all these visualizations are relative. So we will create a view with, we are going to compare it with last year performance. So it will tell you a bigger picture whether the performance has been good or bad, right? The profitability, negative profitability we see in tables might be comparatively better than last year. So again, we have to always have to compare with a certain data point, basis on which we can make some decisions. Now I just want to show one of the features here in Tableau on the right pane of your screen. If you see show me will tell you, what are the different views I can generate using the existing dimensions. The one which are darker I can create quickly, and the one that are not that are a little less, not dark enough, not highlighted, I will have to add certain more parameters into it to create that visualization. So let me just click on scatter plot and see what do I get. So I get this kind of view where I have categories, subcategories defined by different colors. However, it is not giving me right picture. So the earlier one was a better picture in terms of, or the sales is respective to the profit. I can just click on this back button and go back to where I was, like an undo feature. Now, one of the biggest features and important features in Tableau is the spatial view, where you can view, the data points on a map. So for that, I'll just take an example where for map to be created, it is very important that we need to have data elements that would, identify that would be identifiable on the map. So for that, I would need the latitude and longitude. So as you see in my data set, I already have city, countries, region, state, region, and state. So basis on the state, city, and country, I would be able to draw a map, and inside that map, I can see the different data elements I want to include. So I'm just bringing longitudinal on the column shelf and latitude on the row shelf. Now I am able to see a map. Now when I click on city, double click on city, let's see what do I get. Okay, now what happens that there are the geography that I am in right now is in India, so I'll have to select it as the data I have is basically from United States, so I'll have to refer to United States and click on OK. Now I am able to see the data points in a map. Now all these cities have some or the other transaction happening in terms of my data. The data is of a retail store where the transactions have been made by various customers for various categories that various items that they have bought from these stores. And these stores are spread across various geographies, various regions, various states in the United States. Now I can do some changes in the color itself because in the east, in the western region, in the California state, I see that there's a lot of cluttered boxes. So it is always good to have a border that will help you to identify different data elements, data points. And if let's say if I want to see sales by these cities, so what I'll do, I'll just pick the sales from the measure pane and put it under the size mark. So now you see that the bigger the circle is, the more sales I had in that particular region. So I see Los Angeles and San Francisco, I had comparatively better sales than in other stores within California. Subsequently, for different states across United States. Okay, so now let me take an example where we show time series data, right? So let's say I want to know that what is my sales during in last 4 years, what has been my profitability in the last 4 years, and then maybe I can further analyze few more questions, comparison analysis on those. So here is my order date. I'll bring it up in the column, and within the year I have my quarters as well defined. I'll just bring the sales in the rows, and now you see that uh, the data I get is across 4 years, across 4 quarters. However, it is not continuous, right? So it is showing me a break after every year. However, I want this to be a continuous chart. So how do I do that? So when I click the arrow on the year field, I see there are two types of characteristics of the date, the top one and the bottom one. The top one is basically the default one. We call it discrete date, right? Discrete data element. In this case, it is a date. When I use the below one, which is going to be a continuous one, similarly for quarter, I am able to see the data for continuous period of time. So now it has also become a continuous chart for me. Or otherwise it was just telling me the 4 quarters and the sales, right? However, if I want to know the continuity in terms of the years as well, then I just need to select the quarters in a continuous characteristic. Now you see that color, even the color of the field has changed from blue to green. Now let me see that how my performance has been in terms of sales and profit, right? So let me bring some data points over here. I already have sales. I have my quarter. Let me just bring the profitability, right? So a line chart might not be able to give you a good view in terms of how the performance has been. So what we can do, we can go to this mark pen and click on this drop down and select bar, right? So it gives me a further good view in terms of the performance. Again, the profitability is dependent on the range that is already there, and it is depend on the darker the color is, the more profitable you are in the profit. All right. So let's say if I want to compare 2 different years and their sales and profitability. So what I will do, I'll just remove these. So I have not now I have a blank spreadsheet kind of view. Now I will use my order date as one of the elements. Now I want to select. I want to see that my sales and profitability in 4 years, right? So I just want to compare, let's say, what the sales and perform and profitability performance has been in 2011 and 12, right? So I can just, filter it out. I'll just press Control, click on the year field, and drop it in filter pane. I'll click on here, click next, and I will select only 2011 and 12. Now I have data for 2 years, 11 and 12, right? So let's see if I am able to get the data in. Uh, so let me put here the categories. So we have more data points. We have category as well. All right. So I've classified them into quarters. Let me use continuous quarters. Now let's say if I want to have this view on a single axis. So what I can do, I can create a dual axis. I'll click on profitability and click on dual axis. So now I have two charts, 2 years, and sales and profitability. However, still I'm not able to compare 2011 and 12. What I can do, I can choose the year and I'll put it in. So now with the use of this, I am able to figure out, I am able to point out that how the sales has been when I'm comparing 2 years, 11 and 12. So I have dual axis here using one bar and one chart. So now let me just take you through how do we create a dashboard. So there, I on this is a dashboard where I can include two or further, spreadsheets into a single view, and then I can play around with them. I can choose, few filters on one of these sheets, and can the same filter can be applied to other sheets as well. So I have 3 sheets available with me that I just prepared. I just dropped it into the screen. I'll adjust the width according to the laptop. So I am able to have a couple of more sheets inside it. So when I let's say if I drop this sheet 2 as well, right? It I have another one, and it automatically the top one gets adjusted, right? So now let's say if I want to see the sales by years, right? So I need a filter on years. So let me go to the original sheet. I can directly click on this go to sheet button, and it will take me to the original sheet where I had prepared this view. I will select order date as uh, one of the filters, and in my dashboard, when I click on this down arrow, I can use the same filter. Now I do not want this um, the year to be a checkbox. Maybe on a slider that would be like little bit more attractive in terms of when I am sharing this with other people, other folks in my organization. So what I'll do, and I don't want to use this space as well. So what I will do, I'll just click on it, press shift, and move it over the sheet 1. So now it becomes a floating view for me. I mean, it is a floating data element, and I can embed in an existing sheet. So I can even embed it anywhere else in this particular dashboard. Okay. So now I don't want this to be a checkbox. Rather than that, I would prefer it to be a slider, single view slider. I will select that option. Now I have the data. I have the slider. This is the data across all the years. This is the data across all the years, and I want to see the progress by one till date. Then I can slide through. Now I want to reflect the change that I'm making in this particular sheet in the second sheet as well, right? So what I do, I click on this arrow button, and I select apply to worksheets, click on selected worksheets, and select the below one as well. Now if you see that my data will reflect accordingly when I choose a filter in the second sheet as well. So similarly, you can create a lot of powerful visualizations. It's just the different features in Tableau that allows you to do that. You need to have the questions that Tableau can really help you in answering those questions, and accordingly you can create very powerful visualizations. We have another feature in Tableau. It is called as Storyboard, where you can create multiple dashboards, multiple sheets in a story, right? So let's say if I have this dashboard on this sheet, and let's say if I want to see sales by region across 4 years, that becomes a story for me. If I go on do I go want to go down to another level, want to see by what are the different categories, within those categories how is my data, how the data is reflecting, I can create another new blank point, and details, create another tab, another view, details of the sales by subcategory. So this is another powerful feature where you are you can embed the data views that you want. Similarly, like I want to embed this, and create further visualizations, things like that, and share across with my organization. You can easily on the go can create these visualizations, and share with your colleagues, your management, and so on and so forth. Now, once we create these things, these views, dashboard stories, and simple reports, simple visualizations on Tableau, we can publish them using the Tableau server or Tableau online. So, basis on the different authority and the security in your organization, people will be able to view the dashboards or the sheets shared with them. All right, so those are the few basics. I mean, there are a lot of things that we should cover. However, given the time, given the limited time we have, I would say that we can have another webinar where we can go into different features and different powerful tools within Tableau. So we have in Tableau, it gives you a calculated field feature where you can just let me throw an example to you. So I go here, I just double click on the columns, let's say on the rows, and can create some table calculations on the go. I just want to see average sales, right? I'll bring it here. So this is how the power of Tableau, helps you in creating the different complex views without spending a lot of time, without being dependent on anyone else. It has table calculations, which is very powerful. There is another feature that has been recently added in Tableau 9 version, level of detail expressions, that is very much even more powerful than the table calculations. Table calculation has this limitation that you can only do the aggregation on the measures. Now, the level of with the help of level of detail expressions, you can do aggregation on the dimensions as well, and that's a very fantastic feature that has been added recently, and people have gone really far in terms of creating amazing visualizations. I would suggest that you all, to all the attendees, to go to Tableau public and public website and see what are the different powerful visualizations people have created. All right, so those are things. Those are the things that I had planned to cover in this particular session. I am now. I would love to hear any questions that you guys have. All right. So one of the questions that I've received that is, are we partner as Business Solutions? Are we a partner to Tableau? Yes, we are partner to Tableau, and we can help any organizations in terms of getting any licenses or any solutions that Tableau provides, and also help you with your implementation in terms of creating complex dashboards or complex reports that you can that you would need, and that would help answering a lot of questions in your organization. All right, any more questions? Okay, I have got another question that is uh, is there any community version of Tableau? Yes, as I said earlier, that the community version, I would say it's not an open source version, but all the people can use it freely. It does not cost any license. There's a Tableau public version. However, as I said in the beginning, that it does not uh, have the various data connection features that are there in Tableau desktop. Tableau public is mostly used by general public for non-profit use, for personal use, and there are a lot of people around the world that are creating mm, various views on daily basis. There are a lot of views, a lot of dashboards, lot of interactive reports are getting created by these users. I would recommend that to all the attendees that please visit Tableau public website and see what are the different visualizations people have created. It really helps you in terms of seeing that what are the different questions that we can answer using the power of Tableau visualization. All right. So if we do not have any questions, then I would like to say goodbye and have a good evening, good morning, or good afternoon as per your location. It was very nice for me to present to you this basic features of Tableau, and I'm pretty sure that whenever you get time, please try to go to install Tableau on your local machines. They have Tableau has a free trial, 30-day trial, and try to see what are the things that we can do with the power of Tableau. And please note down my email ID if you have any questions or any help if you need. Please feel free to get in touch with me. I'll just put it on the chat. I will be happy to answer any of your queries or questions. Please email to me at ankur.anvekar@vistasolutions.com. All right. So it was good session we had on Tableau basics, and I'm hoping to meet you again in a future webinar. We will talk more on the various features which can help you do more analytics. As I talked about table calculations, there is a forecasting feature. We have in Tableau they have recently added R language, so you can use the existing R script in Tableau and can enhance your analysis and level of detail expression. All right, guys. Thank you. Thanks a lot for joining. Bye bye.